If you learn the right way, you can get to a pretty good level of comprehension in any language relatively fast. What do I mean by learning the right way? Well, memorize vocabulary with mnemonic associations, learn word families to learn as many words as possible fast, use language islands to learn several thousand useful phrases quickly, and learn all the grammar, all the grammatical structures. Um, and once you've done all of that, you should be able to understand a decent amount. And what I highly recommend you do is to start listening to native speaker podcasts as soon as possible. Native speaker podcasts, I mean, not uh, learn Spanish with Juan. No, 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 no. I mean, native speakers for native speakers. Yeah, native speakers talking about interesting subjects and target audience being native speakers. Find podcasts in whatever topic you're interested in and you listen to them. And ideally, it should be long. So there's a lot of conversation and you can just play it in the background and you listen to it while you do something else, like driving or, I don't know, making dinner. And this will be pretty difficult in the beginning, but the more you listen to them, the easier it will get to understand. And it's important to listen to different voices because there are studies that say that in order to remember vocabulary well, it's better to have it's better to hear those words in context and spoken by different people with different voices. And also listening to different voices will make it in general make your comprehension better. So I recommend you start listening to podcasts as soon as possible. Now, why am I here? This is browsing. What does this thing have to do with listening to podcasts? Well, uh, going from beginner materials to native speaker content can be challenging because, well, there's the pronunciation thing and you don't understand what they say. That can happen, but also there's a vocabulary challenge. Maybe they use words that you don't know. So, what I highly recommend you do is use YouTube podcasts where you can get a transcript easily, or anywhere else where you can get a transcript easily. In YouTube, you can just go to the video's description and just click on show transcript, and then you copy that. You get the whole text there, and you come here and you paste it, and you get this beautiful. Can you guess what language this is? And you paste the you paste the transcript here, and click on calculate word frequency, and you get a list of all the words in the text from the most frequent, being this one, to the least frequent. And you get a vocabulary list of the transcript of the podcast you're about to listen to. And I recommend you take this and you review it before listening to the podcast. This will take some time, although much less time than listening to the podcast. But you can understand way more of the podcast if you've reviewed the vocab first. You could also just read the transcript, but reviewing the vocab is going to be much easier, much faster. So you just, and if you've been learning the language, these are all like grammar words, and the most frequent ones will be easy to understand. Probably until you get to single digit numbers, all that vocab should be recognizable already. You should be able to understand it because of learning most frequent word lists, learning your language islands and things like that. This is You can see that like, this is the whole vocab list, and already here just 3 times. Each was only appears 3 times, and then after that it's just twice, and all of this is only once. So this part is where you get a lot of unknown words. Well, maybe not. Maybe you know all of them. Good for you. But yeah, you review the list. An easier and faster way to review this would be to just copy it again, paste it on a spreadsheet, and order it alphabetically, so you can review them in families of similar words to each other. So in families of words that are similar to each other. So you just do that, and then you very quickly review the whole list. Should be several thousand words. Maybe not worth doing every single time you listen to something, but if you are serious about understanding the language well, I highly recommend you do this with several podcasts a week, because it'll be what, like 3, 4, 5,000 words. You can review the whole list pretty quickly in a couple of days, and you also listen to the podcasts. And if you do this regularly, your comprehension will skyrocket. If you are also listening to the podcast, right? If you don't listen to them, of course not. But this is one of the best and fastest ways to make native level audio comprehensible. And when I say audio, I mean you could do this as well with an audiobook, or even with a regular book. You just select the whole book and paste it here, right? But reviewing the vocab list of whatever content you're going to consume, if it's native level content, it's going to make uh, the it's going to make the actual input much easier and much more enjoyable, and also just to learn more, because you will have learned the vocab first. So then by reviewing it in context, you're much more likely to remember it. Yeah, reviewing the vocab first and then seeing it in context is much better than just getting exposed to vocab in context, vocab that you had never seen before, and having to stop and check every time. That will be much slower, much more frustrating, and also, yeah, you'll remember some of the words, but if it takes, and you're not going to stop a podcast also. Maybe with a book, yeah, you can stop every time you see an unknown word. But if there are 10 unknown words per page, it's going to be painful to slow read. If you take a couple hours to review the whole vocab list, it's going to be way faster and easier. So I highly recommend, again, doing this, browse something, paste it here, review the list. It's not the most fun thing to do, but it will make the input much more enjoyable.